Okay, we're going to take a look at comparing decimals again. The directions are use less than, greater than, or equal to compare the numbers. And we have 324 and 34 hundredths. And we're comparing that with 324 and 340 thousandths. So, like before, we're going to line up the two numbers. So we'll line up that first number here. And rewrite that. 324 and 34 hundredths. And now we'll rewrite the second number. And remember, we want to keep this decimal point lined up. We want place value. Place value is extremely important when we're comparing numbers. That is the whole basis. So comparing numbers 324 and 340 thousandths. Now, if you remember in the last one, when we don't have aligning digits in each of the place values, we can just add. Hopefully you said 0, because 0 is a placeholder. So to the right of this 4, right here is the number 0. There's a 0 in the thousandths, there's a 0 in the 10 thousandths, there's a 0 in this 10 thousandths, there's zeros to the left, there's zeros. Okay, so remember, zeros are placeholders. There's always zeros around each number. So now we're going to take a look at the furthest to the left place value, compare those two numbers, and if we see one that's greater, then we can stop. Okay, so let's take a look at the hundreds. We have 3 and 3, so those are equal, so we'll move on. Let's take a look at the tens. We have 2 and 2. Let's do this. So we'll take a look at the tens. We have 2 and 2, so those are equal. We can move on. The ones. We have 4 and 4, so we can move on. The tenths. 3 and 3. Still equal. The hundredths. 4 and 4, we can move on. Remember, we've added this 0. Now, if we didn't add the 0, maybe we would get confused when we compared an empty place value to a 0, but because we added that 0 and remembered, we're now going to compare the thousandths, and we see zeros and zeros. So what we figured out now is that these two numbers are equal, so let's rewrite them as our solution. 324 and 34 hundredths is equal to 324 and 340 thousandths. Now remember, when we rewrote it, we don't include the 0 because we want to keep it true to the original form. So you wouldn't want to rewrite the 0. Alrighty. Hopefully you're getting a good understanding of how we're comparing decimals, and you can start to do so independently.